shorter walk.
I put the front street on the way here.
Yeah.
Other than the 59, other than whatever we're gonna do with those 59 appointments, there's not much on the agenda.
Say hi, how you doing? Right, Paul? Nothing.
They made me go to direct deposit.
Got a bunch of reappointments in the bond order.
Not even a letter, not a postcard, nothing. Yep.
My mail's up on my
How many of
desk.
these are actually appointments?
I almost feel like I have to find an excuse to go into the clerk's
Oh, like a new appointment?
Yeah.
There's like two.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, I left yours in this chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
You grabbing a drink afterwards?
Oh, yeah. Well, the plan is like,
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a little candle in my old fashioned.
We called each other this morning.
I told Derek, I said, I don't know how long it'll be, but if he doesn't know the stuff, keep Steve in town for a while.
When are they doing the sale over there? When are they selling the
I don't know. I don't know. Bill would know more than me.
Yeah.
Bill,
Let me ask you about this.
any idea when the 43 sale's supposed to be official?
They are talking June.
Oh, really? That long?
That's what they're telling staff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably fairly realistic.
Yeah.
They have not gone before the licensing board for a transfer.
No.
Has the sale already happened?
They've got a purchase and sale agreement,
Okay.
but they haven't, I don't think they've signed off.
So they'll just keep.
He's had two purchase and sale agreements in the last 18 months that didn't come through.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't. Actually, I heard about one, but
Yeah, so,
We gotta keep that one in our back pocket.
yeah, they haven't gone before the licensing board yet. I would expect that
And the residency thing too.
at the end of the month of early May.
You think the sale will go through and they'll keep operating
Thank you.
no?
Turner Fisheries,
Yeah.
Took me a while to think what you were saying.
separate restaurant.
Right. So once the sale goes through, they'll just shut it all down and revamp.
Yeah, I expect to shut it down for a while because I'm sure they have renovations that they want to
Yeah.
do. They're gonna, even if it's just changing the carpeting and the drapes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they how they utilize the space.
what'll be interesting to do once they figure out what their plans are, what'll happen with that entertainment scene that's popped up on it, those Thursdays and Fridays,
That
and
may
where
or may not be in their plans.
it may not be, and if
That
it isn't,
entertainment
you
scene
see where it
is safe.
goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the,
Between the Dejas and Quill.
yeah, the Dangers and Quill.
Where was that before? Like, where was that business before on Thursday nights?
Dejas?
Yeah, or
Well, I mean,
They're really doing a residency anyway.
yeah, this
oh,
is,
but I
this,
mean, so that crowd, that
they
crowd
play wherever.
Not very well at all.
No, the place was dead. Well, I mean, it died, it was kind of tailing off the last couple of years as the Lyceum, and then when they first rebooted it church, it was they went really high end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they'll close down for a while. It's almost automatic. Better go in, take a
Why is any idea why Opus is taking so long to open?
Bill knows this one.
They got it.
function room in the basement.
Yeah, so they really.
And they're renovating upstairs. When they went in and started renovating the upstairs, what they found out is what you find out a lot in those places is they started ripping up floorboards and walls, and they found out that the Greenland guys really didn't renovate. They
Yeah.
patched and painted. So they just decided that they were gonna do the renovations upstairs
Yeah.
and open in November, and then close January, February, and March.
Okay.
Full renovation.
Yeah.
They just decided.
So I didn't even realize that there was space downstairs for
They were using
function.
it strictly for storage.
Yeah.
And staff breaks and stuff like that.
Cool.
Originally, the plan, they would take about 10 space next door with the elements.
Oh, so they're not doing that anymore?
No, it's gonna be a pastry shop, a next pastry shop.
Ah.
They were gonna use that for their function.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, there's extra. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, I never go back up there.
Cool.
All right.
The menus. I looked at the website though. The menu seemed a little bit. Well,
What, for Opus?
yeah, they just describe. It's like small plates.
Well, they're going to have a small plates menu, I guess, and then they're going to have restaurants. What was it you were saying? Downstairs is going to be like the bar, club kind of small plates place.
A function room type of thing. I think there's gonna be a bar upstairs. They'll have a full menu.
Hey, the more options, the better is my attitude.
Well, you know, they're talking the same kind of stuff Greenland was talking. You know, we're gonna bring a new type of dining to Salem.
It worked okay at Greenland.
I
on
like
and off.
Greenland. I like the food.
Not everything on there was great, but I like that they were trying.
Greenland did some good stuff.
I like that they were trying.
They had their times. I went there.
This is illegal. This is illegal. It's a legal document.
Then they changed the tapping.
Now, when they first started as a tapas place, kind of, they had some really good stuff. We went there a couple times early on, and they're doing some really neat stuff. But
And then they were talking about building a steakhouse on before it sold.
Yeah, I heard that
because
too.
everybody thinks there's room for another steakhouse. Because we
Well,
needed
again, if you
4
want-
steakhouses. Yeah.
Looking at some better.
I don't know, they probably haven't started yet. They're like in the
What?
top 10, like,
That's the point.
Yeah, I'd like to see one. It's a water.
I don't know if it's the market. Yeah, they tried that before it became church, and they tried it as 43 Church, and then
When they did it,
wait, Salem doesn't want to pay $40 for a steak.
know where they play tonight.
What's up with that?
well, so it works. You know what I mean? It works for Polana over in Peabody in a horrible location.
Yeah, they did well though.
Do very well.
Actually.
Folks, I know in Division 1 they have the final.
Right, Josh?
And Mr. Sargent is here for the night.
I think so.
You see that, Josh? The place Polana over in Peabody does very
Hi,
well.
Michael.
Well, they had that place they had that Brazilian place downtown for years,
I just waiting to have
years
some.
and years. Firebolt.
Yeah,
There for a long time.
They were good for a while and then they.
Yeah, they went downhill
They had a
fast.
long life there. They had a pretty long lifespan for that neighborhood.
No. No, good.
Polana's pretty much pricier or the same as Capitol Grill.
So can we read these reappointments at like the speed of the guy who used to do the old FedEx ads? I'll never finish.
Maybe he forgot. I haven't seen him.
Joe?
One? Really?
You can usually hear him now.
He's at the presentation from,
Councilor O'Keefe is still at the.
Is that the wrong
fundraiser,
meeting?
I believe.
Is this written on?
Here any minute. He'll be here.
where did it say this was for?
He's been in, I think.
Thanks.
I think so. I don't know if he registered back.
Regular meeting of the City Council held in Council Chamber on Thursday, April 11, 2013, at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on April 4, 2013, at 4:23 p.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Absent currently is Councilor O'Keefe. Council President Ryan is presiding. Councilor Carr moves to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor, opposed? So moved. I ask that everyone please rise and join Councilor Legault in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Public testimony. We have one speaker. Please step to the podium. Name, address, rank, serial number.
Good evening. T.C. Riley Goggin, 9 Wisteria Street. I'll be very brief. You do have on your agenda this evening pertaining to mandatory recycling. You want first passage. I really feel that after watching what happened in the city with the parking and the number of times it had to be brought back to you, and it still isn't completely settled, it had so many bugs in it that even if you had someone come in to do a complete extermination, they couldn't have hit them all. But I look at mandatory recycling and I say there's much, much too much that should be done before we have first passage. It's going to affect a lot of people, and I would ask for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. hearings? None. Appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of Dr. Daniel M. Ledoux to the Board of Health with a term to expire December 31st, 2014.
Councilor Fieri?
Yes, please. As a council liaison, it's my privilege and pleasure to nominate Dr. Danielle M. Ledoux to the Board of Health. It's a critical position to fill. She has a repertoire and an extensive resume in the health field. I think she'll be a bright, shining
Is she
star.
here? I don't think she's here.
No, she'll hold off
So we'll have to hold off
to the next meeting.
next meeting, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed? Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of Dale Yale to the Planning Board with a term to expire May 1st, 2013.
Council Prevey?
Who covers Mayflower Lane?
But that's me.
Oh, sorry.
That's me. Is he out here?
I don't think he's here.
I don't see him.
So we'll hold
Hold on.
over
Hold
to
it
the next
over.
meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Board of Assessors with the following terms to expire: Don Bates, Richard Jacolta, and Damian Johnson.
Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Prevey asks for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
No discussion.
Discussion. Okay. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yeah, yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointment of the Board of Assessors for Donald Bates, Richard Joe Galata, and Damian Johnson, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Beautification Committee with the following terms to expire: Sarah Fiore, Mary Ellen Halliwell, Marsha Lambert, Beverly Mustakis, Mary Ann Poole Pachoki, Sandra Power, and Judith Wolf.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Council Prevey asks for confirmation by roll call vote. Any discussion?
No discussion.
Okay. Let the record show that Councilor O'Keefe has graced us with his presence. Thank you. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Beautification Committee, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Board of Health with the following terms to expire: Martin Fair, Dr. Barbara Poremba, and Gail Sullivan.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Council Prevey asks for confirmation by roll call vote. Any discussion?
Yes. I make a motion, we put it into committee of the whole.
Council Siegel makes a motion. We put it in committee of the whole. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second it?
I'll withdraw my earlier motion.
Okay, so on Councilor Siegel's motion to move these appointments to the committee of the whole, seconded by Councilor Prevey. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those in favor? Councilor Sosnowski, do you have something? Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Opposed?
Okay. The matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Cemetery Commission with following terms to expire: Patricia Donahue, Ruth Kapnis, Elaine Milo, Joanne Miziok, and Anthony O'Donnell.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay. Under discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. Okay, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Legault,
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe,
Yes.
Counselor Fury,
Yes.
Counselor Carr,
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Cemetery Commission, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Commission on Disabilities with the following terms to expire: Jennifer Barsnell, Andrew Lapointe, James Nolan, and David Track.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay, any discussion?
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio,
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Yes.
Counselor Siegel.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Prevey.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Legault.
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe.
Yes.
Counselor Fury.
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Commission on Disabilities, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Conservation Commission with following terms to expire. Michael Blyer was withdrawn. Amy Hamilton and Julia Kinsel.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Council Prevey moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Any discussion?
Just very briefly, the city clerk had already indicated that the mayor had sent down a letter earlier indicating that she was withdrawing the appointment of Michael Blyer to the Conservation Commission. So the appointments would just be for Amy Hamilton and Julia Ninsel.
Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Yes.
Counselor Siegel.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Prevey.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Legault.
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe.
Yes.
Counselor Fury.
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Conservation Commission for Amy Hamilton and Julia Kinsel, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Council on Aging with the following terms to expire: Patricia Donahue, Pamela Greaves, Elaine Herodine, Dolores Nagel, and Alice Williams.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay. Under discussion.
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Yes.
Counselor Siegel.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Prevey.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Legault.
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe.
Yes.
Counselor Fury.
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Council on Aging, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Historical Commission with the following terms to expire: Laurie Bellin, Catherine Harper, David Hart, Jessica Herbert, Joanne McCrae, and Lawrence Spang.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Discussion, okay. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel.
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Yes.
Counselor Siegel.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Prevey.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Legault.
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe.
Yes.
Counselor Fury.
Yes.
Counselor Carr.
Yes.
Counselor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Historical Commission, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the licensing board with the following terms to expire. John Casey was withdrawn, but Robert St. Pierre.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Council Prevey moves for confirmation by roll call vote. On discussion.
As the city clerk previously indicated, it will only be Robert St. Pierre who will be voted on for confirmation.
Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel.
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Yes.
Counselor Siegel.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Prevey.
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Carr?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointment to licensing board for Robert St. Pierre, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the parking board with the following terms to expire: Michael Caggiano and Tim Doggett.
Council Prevey,
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
under discussion.
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Terrio?
Yes.
Counsel Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counsel Seagull?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Prevey?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Carr?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the parking board, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the planning board with the following terms to expire: Randy Clark and Charles Pulio.
Council Prevey,
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to divide the question.
Council Prevey wants to make a motion to divide the question under discussion.
A discussion. I'd like to have Mr. Clark refer to committee of the whole, and that we hold an executive session on his appointment. And then I'd like to make a motion for Chuck Pulio to be confirmed by roll call vote. But first, obviously, the vote on separating the question.
Okay, so on Council Prevey's
Dividing the question, I'm
motion to divide the question, is there a second on it? Seconded, okay.
Second.
Any further discussion? Council McCarthy?
Seeing how Mr. Clark is one of my constituents, is there a reason for an executive session on this?
Council?
What's that?
Council Prevey?
Yes, there is. Essentially, what I'd like to discuss is, I can't support Mr. Clark at this point in time. I'd like an opportunity to discuss that, and I certainly don't want to do that publicly at this point, so.
You don't have to explain that.
Okay.
You don't have to explain.
Any further discussion?
Move
All
the
right,
question.
so on the, hold your horses. The first thing we're voting for is to divide the question. Should we do roll call vote, or?
Show of hands is fine. Show of
Okay,
hands is fine.
all those in favor?
Buy the question?
All those against, opposed, okay. Approved, the motion to divide the question is approved, so now, and that's to put into committee the whole, hold an executive session.
That's correct, Mr. President.
And then the second one is for confirmation by roll call vote of Charles Pulio to the planning board. Okay, any discussion on that? Okay, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Terrio?
Yes.
Counsel Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counsel Seagull?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Prevey?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Carr?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointment to the planning board of Charles Pulio, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the redevelopment authority with the following terms to expire: Conrad Baldini, Robert Curran, Robert Mitnick, and Matthew Vino.
Council Prevey,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
under discussion.
Briefly, Mr. President, just a correction on the address of Matt Vino. It's not 15 Beach Ave, it's 20 Forest Ave, just to make that
Okay.
go out on the record. So I'd move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Terrio?
Yes.
Counsel Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counsel Seagull?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Prevey?
Sorry, Counselor O'Keefe was.
Well, I'm bothering her.
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Carr?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. On the reappointments to the redevelopment authority, also with updating Matthew Vino's address, the 24 Forest Ave. 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Registrar of Voters with the following terms to expire: Charles Barton and Philip Sandin.
Council Prevey,
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
on discussion.
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments to the Registrar of Voters for Charles Barton and Philip Sandown, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Renewable Energy Task Force with the following terms to expire: Jeffrey Barsnell, Jeff Brandt, Dr. John Hayes, Cindy Keegan, Nick Lewis, and Richard Nye.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay. Any discussion?
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. Reappointments, the Renewable Energy Task Force, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Scholarship and Education Committee with the following terms to expire: Shirley Savoni, Edward Curtin, and Joseph Salerno.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointments, the Scholarship and Education Committee, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as members of the Trust Fund Commission with the following terms to expire: Raymond Valencourt.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any discussion?
Briefly, I actually have a question. I can direct that to the city clerk. The term that's listed here is April the 1st, 2023. Is that correct? Okay, so it's a 10-year
10-year,
term.
yeah.
I just want to be clear about that.
Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointment to Trust Fund Commission of Raymond Valencourt, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals with the following term to expire: Mike Duffy.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. On the reappointment to Zoning Board of Appeals of Mike Duffy, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. And further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of John W. Ray III to serve as a constable with a term to expire April 1st, 2014.
Council Sosnowski,
I move that this matter be received and placed on file.
all those in favor? Opposed?
Mr. President,
Councilor Sosnowski,
may I ask for a point of personal privilege, please?
yes.
Back, a few pages back, when we were doing the licensing board, there was a gentleman who's been not reappointed this year, And I just would like to honor this man. He put, as of June 1st, it'll be 19 years that he served on the licensing board, and he's also served 4.5 years on the Historic Commission. He's given a total of his life of 23.5 years to this city. I'm not going to get into the questionable way that he's being removed. I just want to honor this man for what he's done for this city. He's a fabulous person. He's put his heart and soul into this, and I would like to ask that the city council give him a city seal in honor of how he has served the city so tremendously, because he's a fabulous, fabulous person. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That's, did I mention, John?
John Casey.
John Casey,
Yeah.
yes. I'm not sure if I mentioned his name.
Okay, so noted. Moving on here. I think we're done with the appointments. Communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $60,000 from the fund balance free cash account to Veterans Benefits account.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I make a motion to refer this to Committee on Administration and Finance.
On discussion.
Just because the amount of money, I read through the veteran agent's letter to the mayor and the mayor's letter to us, and I just had some questions I wanted to ask him in committee. So between now and obviously the next city council meeting, we'll have this out to be voted on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion on Councilor Prevey's motion to refer to the Committee on Administration and Finance? All those in favor? Opposed? Moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $50,000 from the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback to fund the retirement buyback costs of the newly negotiated sick leave buyback provision.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Council Prevey moves suspension of the rules. Any objection? Council Prevey.
I also move for adoption.
Under discussion.
Mr. President, I spoke with the Human Resources Director, Lisa Camerata, about this appropriation, and actually she had raised it to me after the committee meeting that we had the other night relative to the different transfers regarding the contract negotiations. And they're asking for this $50,000 so they can hold on to it, and essentially people that are going to take advantage of the buybacks that they're offering through the new contract. They want that pool of money to be available to do that, just to make sure that people get compensated for those buybacks and then kind of move on from there. So I'd ask that it be appropriated for that purpose, and that way it'll kind of settle it. City's saving a lot of money actually because of the new contracts, and obviously one of the things that we're going to save money on is the buyback, since we're eliminating sick leave, the sick leave and the vacation leave buybacks. But as part of that, we're offering this kind of one-time offer, so to speak, for some of these people that are eligible right now. So that money would cover these costs.
Okay. Any further discussion on Councilor Prevey's motion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $25,000 from fund balance free cash accounts to DPS gasoline diesel fuel account.
Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Okay. Any objection on being? Councilor Prevey.
I also move for adoption.
Under discussion.
The next two orders are obviously joined at the hip, so to speak, because they come from water and sewer, and also they total combined $50,000. It's obviously for gasoline, a request that was submitted from the Public Services Director. And in the letter that he submitted to us, it's just the cost of gasoline, the amount of fuel that the city's using. We've been using a lot of diesel fuel, which is obviously much more expensive than regular fuel. And this is to try to account for, between now and the end of the budget year, to cover those costs, just to make sure that vehicles keep operating under the auspices of the Public Services Director. So that's his estimation. He did put in there a caveat that there might be a chance that he still might run out of the money, might have to come back again before the end of the budget season, but hopefully that won't be the case, and this will take care of his needs based on his estimation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $25,000 from retained earnings sewer fund account to the DPS gasoline diesel fuel account.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move for suspension of the rules.
Any objection? None being. Council Prevey?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Council Prevey moves for adoption. Any discussion?
This is the second half of what I just discussed.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We get accepted donation from the City of Lynn for $3,000 and Footprint Power $1,000 for a total of $4,000 for the Police Department Summer Camp Donation Fund.
Council Prevey?
Mr. President, I move for adoption.
Council Prevey moves for adoption. Under discussion?
Want to take the opportunity to thank our neighbors to the south of us, the City of Lynn, for the $3,000 donation, and for Footprint Power, our new business that's coming in, taking over the power plant for their $1,000 donation for the summer camp. So the summer camp couldn't operate without the generosity of different communities and organizations that contribute to it. So we certainly want to thank them for their continual support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I think we missed one. Madam City Clerk, did we skip over one?
No?
Okay. All right, all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
Accepted donation from the Peabody Police Department for $3,500 for the Police Department Summer Camp Donation Fund.
Council Prevey,
Mr. President, I move for adoption.
under discussion.
Peabody Police Department is very generous in terms of donating $3,500 towards the summer camp. So we certainly want to extend our thanks to our neighbors on the other side of Salem and thank the police department for their generosity.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Further communications from the mayor.
To authorize submission of the City of Salem's application for federal assistance to HUD for community block grant funds.
Council Prevey,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
under discussion.
This is our annual community development block grant funds that the application, obviously, we have to submit for the fiscal year to the federal government to get those funds that obviously cover a lot of different programs. Unfortunately, as every member of the council knows in reading the attachments to that, over the last several years, those funds continued to dwindle down. I remember it wasn't that long ago, a few years, we had over $1 million, usually like $1.2, $1.3 million. Now it's down to a little over $800,000 that we're getting. So unfortunately, the funds continue to dwindle, but nevertheless, we're still an eligible community, and we want to obviously authorize the mayor to submit the application and make ourselves available for those funds for the various programs that they're used for. Thank you.
Thank you. Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to rise and support this. Just want to acknowledge Jane Guy from the Planning Department. Jane Guy spearheads the Community Development Block Grant Program every year, and every year I've had the privilege to go over there and participate in some of these open forums. And every year, as Council Prevey just alluded to, the numbers are dwindling. I believe it's a 20-some-odd% drop-off in the last 3 years that the money has dropped off. And these funds go to fund a lot of programs throughout the city, because other agencies require on some assistance from these funds to operate. And every year, the same people are in that room trying to get their slice of the pie, so to speak. And I just want to commend Jane for her work on this and ask everyone to support moving this forward, because it is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Turiel?
Yes.
Counsel Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counsel Siegel?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Prevey?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fiori?
Yes.
Counsel Carr?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the approval of submission of application for community block grant funds, 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the City Council approve the Chapter 121A designation for Salem Heights Preservation Associates Limited Partnership and authorize the mayor to enter into a 121A agreement on behalf of the City of Salem.
Council Prevey.
Mr. President, I move to schedule a public hearing.
Council Prevey moves to schedule a public hearing on discussion.
Just briefly, it's a public hearing that's going to take place, a joint hearing between the City Council and the Planning Board relative to 12 Pope Street.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Counselor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem in the year 2013, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 57A, parking time limited, unmetered zones. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Washington Square North, west side, beginning at the corner of Kimball Court and continuing in a northeasterly direction, ending at the corner of William Street. 2, in parentheses 2, hour parking limit, parking time limited, unmetered zones. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter.
Under discussion.
Yeah, briefly, Mr. President, this was one of we had a package come before us in March of 2011, and it had roughly 200 items on it, and this one here kind of slipped by, and it was never supposed to have happened, more or less. It has the approval of the police chief, has the approval of the Lieutenant Brzezinski, and it's essentially just the first passage of trying to correct a mistake.
Okay.
So then we'll have the second passage coming up second. Okay? Next, 2
Any
weeks.
further discussion?
No further. Well, sorry.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counselor Fury.
Yes, Mr. President, fellow members, as a late file, please, Councilor Go and I had the opportunity to be at the, and I am the council liaison to the Board of Health. At the last meeting, they made a request to be sent to us. So in the City Council, April 11th, 2013, ordered a request to the City Council on the Public Health and Safety, co-posted as a committee of the whole, on a home rule petition for the submission to the Massachusetts Legislature to repeal a specific act, Chapter 654 of the Acts of 1972. The repeal effectively reduces the size of the Salem Board of Health to 3 members, keeping it with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 111-26. And I wish to invite the City Solicitor, the Director of the Board of Health, Mr. Larry Ramden, the Board of Health members, and a representative of the Mayor's office, please. Thank you.
No discussion because it's a late file? No, we can't have any discussion. Point of personal privilege?
That's what I'm going to ask for,
Okay.
Mr. President. A point of personal privilege. This cannot be discussed because it is a late file.
Yeah.
However, from a legal point of view, 4 members didn't vote on this. Only 3 did, so therefore it's a non-matter
You can't discuss this.
from a legal point of view.
But it's Counselor Fury is the one bringing it in, so
I
it doesn't really
understand.
make a difference.
We can't discuss it, though, so
Yeah.
when it gets to the committee, we'll discuss it.
On Counselor Fury's motion to refer the matter to, was it Public Health Safety?
Co-posted
To the Committee of the Whole. All those,
Wait a minute, question?
question,
On the
clarification?
order,
Yep,
on the format. To you, Mr. President?
Counselor O'Keefe.
Does this say ordered or requested?
Ordered, but this is, I
What
put it
does
on
that
an
say?
order.
Ordered?
No, they request,
Yes, I realize. They requested,
in
right?
writing, I give you a copy,
Yes, so it's requested,
a request,
not ordered.
not order,
Thank
request. Thank you.
All right.
Move the question.
All those in favor? All those opposed?
Opposed?
2 opposed. That carries. Further motions, orders, and resolutions? None. Committee reports.
You have any?
No. Counselor Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, to whom was referred the matter of granting certain licenses, has considered said matter and would recommend approval. Secondhand valuables, AAA Old Non-Keg Antiques, Galaxy Art and Antiques Auction, and the Game Stop.
On acceptance report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption recommendation, under discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
Okay. All
Well,
those,
can I ask Ward 2 Council a question?
Counselor O'Keefe.
Who you? A question to Ward 2 Council. In other words, we're going from an unmetered zone to a metered zone in front of the, is that correct? I think it's a great
No,
idea.
we're on committee report.
Did that.
Wait a minute, where am I? On the wrong page?
Yes,
Page
sir.
15.
Thank you.
Top of page 15, Councilor.
All right, I'm sorry.
See what happens when you speed up?
Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you,
On
Councilor.
adoption of the recommend, all those in favor? Opposed? Further committee reports, Councilor Prevey.
Mr. President.
Are we on the right page, Council?
The City of Salem City Council, April 11, 2013, the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $380,000 from the Stabilization Fund to a school collective bargaining reserve to cover fiscal year 2013 teachers' contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
Okay. On acceptance of the report, all those in favor, opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
Mr. President, we had on this past Monday a committee meeting going over all the different contracts that were settled in 2013. We had the finance director in here, we had the human resources director, and we had the mayor. And basically, the mayor provided an outline in terms of the contract negotiations, the specifics regarding the settlement of each of those contracts, and the money that the city will be saving long term. So I certainly want to commend the mayor and her team and their efforts in negotiating the contracts in a way which is favorable to the city from a financial standpoint. So with that, there's going to be a series of committee reports relative to that. I won't go into any more details beyond that, but essentially all the different unions that were settled in terms of the contract are listed in here, as well as the amounts of money that we're appropriating for that purpose. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, opposed? So moved. Further committee reports, Councilor Prevey.
City of Salem City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $143,003 from fund balance free cash account to various police patrolman accounts to cover fiscal year 2013 contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? On adoption recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports. Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $137,605 from fund balance free cash account to various accounts to cover fiscal year 2013 ASME contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports. Councilor Prevey.
City of Salem City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $136,525 from fund balance free cash account to fire department accounts to cover fiscal year 2013 contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? Oops, sorry.
That's awesome.
On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
On that note, no discussion.
Percentage right.
Everything's falling apart. All those in favor? Opposed? Further committee reports. Councilor Prevey.
City of Salem City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $82,867 from fund balance free cash account to police department accounts to cover fiscal year 2013 contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports. Councilor Prevey.
Mr. President, City of Salem and City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of a transfer of $693,073 from various school accounts to cover fiscal year 2013 teachers' contractual increases, has considered said matter and will recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? So adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion, okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports, Council Prevey.
City of Salem and the City Council, April 11, 2013, the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of a transfer of $56,638 from General Fund CIP 2012 interest account to cover fiscal year 2013 fire contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption of recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports, Council Prevey.
City of Salem and the City Council, April 11, 2013, the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of a transfer of $10,252 from Water CIP 2009 principal account to cover fiscal year 2013 water ASME contractual increases, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, all those in favor of adoption of recommendation? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports, Council Prevey.
City of Salem and the City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of a transfer of $10,252 from Sewer CIP 2009 principal account to cover fiscal year 2013 sewer ASME contractual increases, has considered said matter and will recommend approval.
Okay, on acceptance of the report, all those in favor? On adoption of recommendation, on discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. All those in favor? So moved. Further committee reports, Council Prevey.
City of Salem, the City Council, April 11, 2013. The Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $8,924.50 from fund balance free cash account to inspectional services emergency demolition repair account, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
Okay, on acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. During that same committee that we had on Monday, we had the Inspectional Services Director, Tom St. Pierre, who had talked about, as the building inspector, he has the authority to declare unsafe structure, which is what occurred down at Winter Island, and he went about and made the repairs. So the expenditure already happened because of the emergency nature of the repairs and the demolition that was needed, and so this is just to account for that money.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports, Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the City of Salem and the City Council, April 11, 2013, the Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of a bond order in the amount of $5,900,000 for Canal Street utility program projects, has considered said matter and would recommend adoption for first passage by roll call vote, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption recommendation, on discussion?
We also took up on Monday, Mr. President, the Canal C project, essentially all the utility work that needs to be done. We had the mayor explain in some detail, as well as the city engineer, as to what the work that's needed to be done there, obviously in preparation for the entire overhaul of it. So with that, obviously, it requires a lot of money, and so we're going to obviously bond for it, and that's what's going to be required of it. So,
okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is to deal with the first phase of a lengthy project that will deal with the longstanding issues with water and roadway problems on Canal Street in Ward 5. Again, this is a project that has been a very, very long time in coming. The problems there have just continuously gotten worse over time. This bond is to deal with the first phase of the whole project, which is the city's responsibility, where we will be dealing with under the road repairs, utility improvements, sewerage improvements, and all the like. And then next year, should we do this, next year the state will come in and rebuild the roadway curb to curb on the entire run, and that requires coordination with the various utility companies and all the like in the projects that are taking place. So I just want to say this is something that my predecessors, Councilors Ronan and Councilor Vino, worked very, very hard on over the years trying to get this forward. I'm really grateful that this has finally made it to the top of the city stack and that we've gotten through the other roadway and reconstruction projects in the city, and it's time to move on to this one.
So on acceptance of the report, all those in favor, opposed? On adoption recommendation, I'm going to do a roll call vote. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On first passage, the bond order in the amount of $5,900,000 for Canal Street Utility Program projects. 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further committee reports. Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem City Council, April 11th, 2013, the Community Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of reviewing the mayor's compensation, has considered said matter and would recommend that the matter remain in committee.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor, opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, on discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prior to the City Council meeting this evening, we had a committee meeting and a discussion about the increase or proposed increase, or at the very least looking at an increase in the mayor's salary. As part of that, there was a motion that Councilor Turiel had made that we asked the Human Resources Director, Lisa Camerata, to do kind of like a salary survey and look into it. Well, after the meeting was done, I ran into her and she said it's already been done. So she has it and she's going to distribute it to members of the committee so we can all take a look at it, maybe do our own little research between now and the next time we have a committee meeting, and then we'll have another committee meeting, obviously, and have a further discussion as to what we want to do with it from there. So as you recall, Mr. President, a number of years ago, we had given an increase to the mayor's salary. It went from $80,000 to $100,000 a year. That was roughly about 5 years ago. As part of that, too, our own salaries are linked to that. We get 10%. But at the time, we eliminated our stipend. So when we got an increase, we essentially, it was a wash for us. We end up getting the same amount of money, essentially, with no stipend any longer. So there's a tandem council order, which I believe Councilor Fury had introduced to relative to the school committee, which we'll also take up at some point relatively soon to address this issue. But outside of that, we'll hold another committee meeting and then see where things stand. But I would certainly urge members of not only the committee but also the council just to look into maybe see what goes on in other communities, what their process is, and trying to evaluate that as opposed to allowing salaries for elected officials to become stagnant, because it's an unpopular thing, as we all know, when it comes to giving any type of elected public official any type of raise. So that's where things stand.
And I have, sorry, I do have that salary survey. I'll email it
Really?
to everyone, sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought so. Thank
Sorry.
you.
Councilor Fury.
Yes, please. I wish to thank the Chairman of Administration and Finance for a professional meeting that you held, and I appreciate the rest of the members attending that meeting about the salary of the mayor. And some of us had the opportunity, Mr. President, yourself included, to take part in Student Government Day. And that was a beautiful experience to take part in Student Government Day, to have young people come in and look at the role and responsibility of our government. And Will Perry, a junior last year, was Councilor O'Keefe's shadow last year. Will Perry, he filled the role this year as the mayor. And he had the opportunity to sit down with the mayor and discuss with the mayor during Student Government Day that morning. And he took part for Student Government Day. And he mentioned the multitasking challenges of being a 21st century mayor. And during that course of time with the mayor, the mayor talked about National Grid, the big dig in Salem, the Canal Street reconstruction program that we just voted on, the footprint takeover of Dominion, which we had a meeting this week, the new garage at the train station, a new dorm at Salem State College, and a library at Salem State University. He was awestruck by the role and responsibility of the mayor. And I think each of us that took part in the city government realizes they're the future, and they took part, and we know what they do. And I think we need to consider the role and responsibility and respect and recognize the role and responsibility of the mayor in the 21st century. She's the mayor is the head of the executive of the city of Salem. She's also, the mayor is also the chairperson of the school committee. It's almost a 24/7 job. We look at the teachers' contract, we looked at the police and fire department, and they all get salary appropriations and salary increases due to educational background and experience. And I think we got to consider the mayor in the 21st century a salary that was commensurate with the role and responsibility, and not make it a political football. And I think with the information that you may have that you assembled to us there, I think hopefully we'll make this a process that's clean, transparent, professional, and fair. And I think we need to attract the best and brightest to the office of mayor for the 21st century, and I think the salary will be a good benchmark to allow that opportunity to take place. Thank you.
Any further discussion on adoption recommendation? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further committee reports. Councilor Turiel?
Oops. Jeez.
City of Salem City Council, April 11th, 2013. Committee on Community and Economic Development, co-posted Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of Footprint Power's presentation regarding the redevelopment of Salem Harbor Station, has considered said matter, would recommend that the matter remain in committee.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? On adoption recommendation, on discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. We had the principals of Footprint Power in, along with Lynn Duncan from the Planning Board, or from the Planning Department was in yesterday to go through their presentation, show us the state of their project, answer some questions from the councilors present, and show us the models that they have of the new development. And I think I can speak on behalf of most of us that we're very excited that this is planned to take place and that they're moving forward with it. They're working on details now in all their regulatory filings. They anticipate this project will begin in mid-2014 after along with the decommissioning of the current plant, with the plan of being online and distributing power in May of 2016. So the motion to keep it in committee is, the recommendation to keep it in committee is so that we can have them back in as necessary and keep monitoring the project as it goes forward, and hopefully it continues to roll forward.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor McCarthy. Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the committee last night for having Footprint Power in. I had met the principals of Footprint Power quite a few years ago now, and from their conception of their plan for the power plant to what it's morphed to now has just been it's been unbelievable, really, to go with the concept of how they were going to deal with it and to come to this point. But I just want to let everybody know that it's not done. Irregardless of their Energy Facility Siting Board filings, they're going to now start the whole city process as well. And the city process will start for anyone interested sometime in, I think, the first meeting in May. So it's on a Thursday. It'll be a planning board meeting. So their intent is they just in this past week have filed with the city and are going to start their preliminary work to work their way in conjunction with what's going on at the state level with the Energy Facility Siting Board to work their way through the various boards that they need approvals from to go forward with their project. So by no means is this over. By no means is there not time to have input into how the plan should move forward. And I would encourage anyone any interest in that and with any designs or desires or what their vision is as well, you know, how that works with their vision. I mean, they've come a long way, and I think there's still some work to be done, but I think it's going to move forward in a positive way. And I would encourage anybody to, if they have issues, to get involved and make sure they attend some of those meetings. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to take the committee report on from the last meeting on the Committee of the Whole off the table and act on it.
Okay.
Recycle it. Yeah, recycle it.
Mandatory recycling. Yeah. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Councilor O'Keefe.
No, Mr. President, I wish to decline taking the presidency. I wish to offer an amendment to this ordinance prior to first
We've got to
passage.
take off the table to discuss it.
I know. I want to offer an amendment I want to be able to vote for the ordinance. Remarks?
I need to actually
Can we
present
read
the
it
committee
first?
report,
Can we-
yeah. So
Yes,
you-
we
brought it
can,
in
with
yet.
the whole ordinance? Yes, I'll tell you where to put it in specifically. Let's
need
read
to
the
do my
whole
committee-
ordinance then.
No, I need you to take the, Council Ferry, you want to take the chair?
All right.
Do you want to make your amendment? I'll have Council Ferry come up instead. if you want.
I'd rather Councilor Fury come up, because I want, this is gonna be a drawn-out competition here. I mean,
Thank you.
load the weapons, all right?
Mr. President?
Thank you. Council Ferry. City Council, March 28, 2013, the Committee of the Whole, to whom is referred the matter of an ordinance amendment relative to solid waste mandatory recycling, has considered said matter and would recommend that the ordinance be adopted for first passage with a condition that the City Council set up procedures for the mandatory recycling via a council order.
Acceptance of the report. All those in favor? All those opposed? Unanimous. Mr. President?
Okay. I brought this up at the last council meeting, a committee report, and Council Torriello tabled it because we had the council order, the list of implementation policy that we just got that night, so we want to be able to look at it and give some time. So basically, we're here, so, and there's probably going to be some discussion based on Councilor O'Keefe's.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilor O'Keefe, please.
Through you, Mr. President, members of the council, I want to be able to vote for mandatory recycling, but at the same time, I want to take care of a couple of my constituents that maybe put one small bag out on the front of their residence to be picked up. And I'm fearful that if they don't have a bag and for trash and a bag for recycling, they're not going to pick up the trash if it doesn't have the recycling there too. So I'm afraid it's a two-shot situation. If the truck dries up eventually, policy is one thing, ordinance is another. Ordinances last forever. They're like state laws. And it's on our books, and it's not a policy that can be willy-nilly adopted. Now, this is what I recommend the council consider. Just one sentence. Can I read it slowly? That the absence of any recycled bins or barrels so labeled, recycled, in other words, you can get a sticker you can put inside of your barrel, in front of residential property shall not prohibit the collection of trash at the same residential property at the same collection time. So in other words, if the truck is driving up 6 months from now under this mandatory recycling, if the recycling truck dries up and there's no recycling container there, it's what is it? Is it a recycle or is it trash? Well, it's going to stay there. So the trash truck comes up and the bag's still there. It's going to be there. Is it going to be picked up? Is it recycling or is it trash? So I want to be able to, those people that just have small bag, like this couple of houses in Pickman Road that I go by every Wednesday. I want to be able to take care of those people at residential properties that want to recycle but don't have anything to recycle, but they have trash. So pick up the trash. I said, all I want is just recycle. It's mandatory, it's wonderful. But people that live on, one person lives in this house, and they don't have the generation, they don't have the quantity of recycled materials I have with the Wheaties boxes and the French, everything else, but they have, things they have to put out, and it's trash. So I want to be able to have them pick up that. That's all I want, is just ask respectfully to have one sentence added that they'll always be able to pick up the trash, even if there's no recycling. In other words, you're clear what I'm saying? They don't have I'm afraid that the person that's going to be driving behind the truck a year from now that's looking for the recycling is going to tell the person ahead, beep, beep, keep going. And I don't want that beep, beep, keep going, don't pick it up. All right? That's all I ask is one sentence. Be added. Where in specific, that's what I'd like to, where at the, just in deference to the city clerk, in her wisdom and experience, she could find an appropriate location that we could add this ordinance to. Ordinance.
To allow discussion, does it require a second for the,
Well, we can work on that. I
This-
spoke to the city solicitor earlier about this. We can work on this with the city clerk and the council president on where this sentence should be, if the council in its wisdom want to do it. I'm thinking mandatory, what does that mean? Mandatory.
Councilor McCarthy, please?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Take 3 steps backwards first. When this first came in front of us, the intention of mandatory recycling, I refer to mandatory recycling as recycling 102. Right now, we're in basic recycling. We're in 102. This is all about education. The $50,000 grant isn't for anyone to go, quote unquote, finger wagging, as people have emailed me, and tell people they can't pick up their trash. I had an offense to that myself. So after the first meeting we had, I don't know how many meetings ago, I asked the city solicitor, specifically with regard to the language that states that if the bin isn't there, then they won't pick up the trash, because I have a big problem with that, as I agree with Councilor O'Keefe. It's all about education, because the other component to this is the more we recycle, the more as a city we save. I mean, big picture aside, you know, with filling landfills, the less trash we put out, because of the contracts we just agreed to, the more money we save, because we're being charged 60-some odd dollars a ton for every ton of waste that goes into the landfill. On the flip side of that, for every ton of cardboard and paper that we recycle, we save 30. So if you're taking stuff out of your trash and putting it in the recycle, then we save money. Everyone saves money. So that's a good thing. This grant-funded position comes not from any state taxes or anything. It comes from a fund that's been paid into by the trash haulers themselves. So my request to the mayor during the first meeting was, rather than make it a paid position, maybe it should be a contractual position, so we don't get into a situation where we are looking at, you know, health care and, you know, pensions and all that. That's up to the mayor to figure out how she's going to plug that in. But all that said, I asked the city solicitor to investigate, because this comes down from the DEP. Can this sentence be eliminated? So I passed out at the last meeting a strike-through version of the ordinance, of which in orange eliminates this sentence. And maybe this sentence will allow Councilor O'Keefe we can just strike the sentence without amending it.
Thank you.
In the whole ordinance, it strikes the sentence: the city of Salem and/or its designated hauler shall not collect any solid waste placed curbside that is not accompanied by a properly marked recycling receptacle placed curbside and containing recyclable material. Basically, the whole premise of, if you don't have a recycle bin out, we're not going to pick up your trash, can be eliminated from the ordinance. And I asked the city solicitor to ask the state if that was allowable, because the reason we're going to mandatory recycling, and I hate that word, I like recycling 102, you know, higher educated recycling, it's to encourage everybody to recycle more. The whole program is designed to have somebody for a 1-year period to be able to go out, monitor what we're putting out for recycles. So when people don't recycle, there's a whole list of what they do. They get a hang tag. We don't want to fine anybody. We just want to encourage them to recycle more, because in the end, we all benefit from it. So if the good Ward 7 council is happy with the elimination of that sentence and it satisfies his need, that will also be able to, everybody gets their trash picked up no matter what, then I think we're good. And that would be my amendment, to amend the ordinance to delete that sentence that's in. I passed that out the last minute, it's struck through in orange.
Mr. President?
Councilor Sargent, did you have it?
Well, just a quick point is, if we're going to make changes, we shouldn't put it upon the city clerk at this moment to plug something in somewhere. That's something that should go to committee and be hashed out and come back with a document to be voted on, not to try and put all that work on the city clerk tonight, right here and now. And this isn't pressing that much that we have to pass this tonight. So I just, you know, suggest that to whoever wants to put those kind of changes in.
Fine.
Councilor Sosnowski, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I pretty much agree with everything that's been said by Councilors O'Keefe, Councilor McCarthy, and Councilor Sargent. The part of this that bothers me is we also asked about if we could remove the statements that called for a fine, especially when you have a situation where you may have a landlord who has 2 or 3 or 4 apartments. What happens if one apartment does but the other 3 doesn't? Or what happens if none of them do? Who gets fined, the landlord or the tenants? All right? And so the question then became, can we get rid of the word fine? Because I agree with everything. I would like to aggressively educate, as you're referring to it as recycling 102, because that recycling is absolutely a wonderful thing, and I support recycling. To have a penalty attached to this, I cannot support it if there's a penalty that's going to be involved. However, in talking with the solicitor during that meeting, I believe it was also said that we can't remove that language because it's state mandated that language be in there. That being said, I can't support this unless we can remove the punishment part of this. I don't want to punish the city. We've already been, commercial tax fees, every fee in the world you can imagine on top of your normal taxes, no more. No more money on that. I want to stop that. However, I totally support...
Councilor Keefe?
I totally support the strong encouragement of recycling. I mean, I do it myself. Literally, I put out twice as much recycling as I put out trash myself, and because I think we should all be doing that. But I can't support something that fines the general public. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Torrio?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, when the city, and the reason I had put this on the table in the first place 2 weeks ago, was we had just gotten in what the city's enforcement policy was intended to be and the steps they had done, and it's just that we'd gotten it that afternoon, and I wanted to give us time to actually read it and see if that could take care of some of the fears and concerns that I and many of my colleagues here have had about the enforcement process. And the enforcement process, just in brief, is pretty much from the first notice violation of this, there are 7 steps before a fine is issued. So you're talking about 7 weeks worth of pickups that would generate attention before such point as a fine would be issued. And at any point, if the tenant or homeowner or whoever then is in compliance, the clock resets. So you'd have to incur and issue 7 consecutive pickups before you'd be at the point of getting into a fine. Fines can be appealed locally as opposed to being appealed at a state level in the ordinance as designed. And also, at the same time, the fact that the clock resets makes it, to me at least, makes it palatable. I don't like the idea of having, I don't like the enforcement side of it any more than anybody else here does, and I don't like the idea of fining people, but at the same time, having that lengthy a process of seven discrete steps before a $25 fine is issued, I'm okay with that. That goes a long way, and it's very easy to avoid it's very easy to avoid getting to that last step.
Councilor Siegel, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to make one more clarification from Councilor Torrio. I believe in the fining stage, if you do get fined, correct me if I'm wrong, you have 3 weeks from the time you're fined. If you then put out your recycling, the fine goes away. I'm for this. I hear the concerns of landlords who have multifamilies, and I think that's one issue I don't think we really addressed. I think it might be unfair to fine the landlord if they have no control over the tenants. And I think that's something that we just might have to address. But besides that, I think it's a wonderful plan. I hope we move forward with it, but maybe just not tonight.
Thank you. Councilor Peavy?
Thank you, Mr. President. To reiterate what Councilor Siegel said, that's probably the biggest issue for me in terms of imposing fines on the property owner that's occupied, essentially, having tenants who are not in compliance despite whatever struggles that the property owner is going to go through to try to get their tenants to comply. I'm sure is probably a difficult thing, especially when it comes to renters. You're trying to get them to comply with other things, and then all of a sudden you find out that you're the one that's getting hit. If I don't put out my recycling as my own property owner, then shame on me. Then I deserve every single ticket and every sanction that is imposable under this particular ordinance. But I have a difficulty if the actual violator is not the one that's being sanctioned. Who's being sanctioned is the property owner, and I've got this difficulty where, and I understand where the city comes from on this, because a lot of times the only leverage the city has is to go after the property owners. Whereas, if it were a state thing, a state law, people's driver's license gets stopped or revoked or whatever the case may be, the state has a myriad of ways in which they can really go after somebody if they're not in compliance with a particular law. But within the city, the only thing that essentially the city can do is go after the property owner. And I just think that's unfair when you're talking about who's a violator and who's not a violator. So where's the incentive for the person who doesn't own their property? They end up being a renter. and they just decide, well, I'm just not going to do it because really nothing's going to happen to me. That just doesn't seem to fit in the entire scheme of things when it comes to mandatory recycling, because we're trying to get everyone to comply, but unfortunately the hammer is going to be dropping on only the property owners. So I have a big issue with that, and I think we should try to figure that component out first before we give final approval, or at least initial approval and then final approval to this ordinance going forward. Thank you.
Councilor Sargent, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Besides the fine, there's also the ability for them not to pick up your trash if you don't put recycle out. So if you don't put your recycle out and your trash doesn't get picked up, in many cases, that's worse than a fine. You know, if you have to deal with that trash for another week, I have somebody come back to get it. Now, in situations like we had 2 Wednesdays ago when the wind was blowing very fast and probably half of all recycle put out ended up in somebody else's property, you know, out of the bin before the recycle person got there, people should have the ability to think for themselves and decide this is not a good day to put it out without getting in trouble, and put out twice as much next time. You know, in a situation where we have a blizzard, you know, heavy rains, windy days, you shouldn't get in trouble for not putting your recycle out. It's common sense to leave it out back or leave it in the shed till it's a better day to put it out. So I think we're a long way from mandatory here. We have asked people for the last 20 years to recycle better, to recycle more. And all we've given them is the same little open-top bin that we gave them 20 years ago. So our ability to help them recycle has not been in line, has not increased the way we've wanted them to increase recycling. You know, and I firmly believe that if you want someone to help you do anything, it's your job to make it easier for them to do it. So doing the right thing will become easier. Recycling will become easier than not recycling. The $50,000 grant, to me, should be going towards getting 32-gallon blue bins with a snap top on it. So no matter how the wind's blowing, your recycle will stay in your recycle barrel until the recycle truck comes. We can't have, we're backwards having people with those same old recycle bins. Those in themselves should be recycled. After we get the new blue bin, those blue bins go in the recycle truck. It just doesn't make sense for us to have them do this archaic way of doing it and not give them the most modern way before we talk about enforcement. I just don't understand it. So my vote is to help people recycle, not to force them to or not to make something mandatory. Make it voluntary, and in the long run, they'll be putting more out. They won't be scurrying around the night before or the morning of recycle and putting their recycle out. It'll go in the backyard, in the barrel, with the snap cover on it, and regardless of the weather, all they have to do is bring that out with their other barrels. You don't have to take your regular trash and get it all together the night before or the morning of your trash day. It's already out in your backyard. You bring the last bag out and you drag the barrels out. If we help people recycle, all they have to do is put their barrel out. Thank you.
Councilor O'Keefe, Councilor McCarthy asked you a question about the possibility
Well,
of withdrawing your motion, withdrawing your amendment. Right? Are you satisfied with the reading that Councilor McCarthy read previously?
Could I ask you a question to ask Councilor, the President about, maybe? It says mandatory on this recommended. Is that in there still, or is that out? Through you, Mr. President.
Yeah, we have to keep mandatory.
Oh, we do.
You can't, that word has to be, the mayor was in the committee meeting, said they have to keep
I
that.
heard that, yes, but that's,
And the $50,000.
that's un-American. All right, Mr. President.
Councilor O'Keefe.
People are confusing about, you don't have to have a blue bin in front of your house for recycling. You can have a barrel that has a sticker around it that says recycling. So people think they've got to go down to Crosby's and buy a $8 bucket. No, you have a barrel, regular barrel, and you can get stickers across the street at the recycling office. Upstairs, Julie will give you a sticker you can stick on your barrels. I don't have them. I see them in my neighborhood. A couple of them have barrels with stickers on them that are recycling. Now, you know, I have a phone, you have phones, everybody's talking to us. My 7-year-old grandson tells me how to run my phone. And a woman called me last night about a matter, and I said, can I have your email? She lives alone, senior citizen. She had a problem. I said, well, you have an email address? And I thought to myself, does she have an email? She doesn't have an email address. She doesn't even have a computer. So we're talking about all this science and all this technology, and we got poor souls that are living on fixed incomes, and here we are gonna say mandatory recycling, and down the road, if you don't put these barrels out that have these signs on them or whatever, we're not gonna pick them up. Last week, there was such a windstorm going down one of my streets, you had to go around all the barrels that were blowing around, the blue barrels that were going around Pickman Road. Now, either the barrels are not heavy enough for plastic or what have you, and the barrels aren't put upside down by our contractor, they're blowing all over the street, if you've seen them in your neighborhoods. So let's slow down, leave this in committee, think about it, and tinker with it a little bit. I don't think we should adopt this tonight, man, gentlemen.
Thank you. Councilor
Think
Carr,
about
please.
it.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I think we're getting hung up on the word mandatory. When I first read this package, the information that was provided, I didn't like the idea of the word mandatory, but if you read through all of the information, the requirement is to utilize the word mandatory, but what enforces it on the back end in the language that Councilor McCarthy is offering to remove in the form of a motion, in effect neuters the fact that it's mandatory. It's not forcing people to do this. If you don't do it, your trash will still be picked up. By eliminating the language from the clause, I think that works. I agree with Councilor Siegel and Councilor Prevey that maybe we should talk a little bit more about the impact on property owners, landlords. I think that's a valid point. But just because it says mandatory, we're getting I feel that some people are getting hung up on the word mandatory when you read really the number of instances in a row that it has to happen before a fine goes in place, the allowability for corrective measures to take place after fines go in place. It truly is not mandatory in the sense of the word. It's kind of a gimmick in terms of the name itself.
Thank you. Councilor Tullio?
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with what I've just been hearing here. We've taken a lot of steps between Councilor McCarthy's changes to the ordinance to allow for a pickup even if there's not recycling out, and the city's efforts to make steps for it that are basically you have to really try to get a fine. You got to work really hard to get a fine. So you've got to go 7 consecutive pickups that are noticed where you don't have any recyclables out, and then if you do get a fine, you still have a chance to put your stuff out and get the fine tossed out. So it's as Councilor Siegel pointed out, well there. So it's really difficult to get fined. And from also on the mandatory side, I think, yeah, the bins that we use are not great. We do have a nice program in place where you can go down to DPW, pick up a sticker, or down to engineering at 120. There's plenty of places to pick them up around the city. Get a sticker, put it on your own bin, and it becomes a recycle bin. And I think we have enough protection in place, so if a situation comes up, like the Wednesday when all the wind kept blowing people's recycles off and people probably didn't want to put their stuff out, I really think there's enough discretion built into this and enough discretion built into the enforcement here that it shouldn't be a major obstacle for us. We should be able to move on with it based on this. And again, we're taking advantage of the term mandatory here because we have to by statute in this if we adopt this program, but the economic advantages of pushing more recycling are very compelling. Not to recap everything, but essentially if there's paper, for every ton of paper that's picked up in recycling rather than disposed of in trash, it's a net swing of $90+ for the city. And then every ton of plastic and metal that's picked up, we're saving the $60+ that we'd otherwise pay in disposal fees. So just increasing that and I remember when we had the committee discussion, Councilor Siegel was working with some of the numbers that were coming up there and looking at the finances of some of the cities that are doing this and have pushed their recycle rates up. And some of the cities are saving in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in the course of a year. That's a lot of money and if Salem can get their recycle compliance up with this, if we can get more people doing this, it's going to be a lot of money that we can use for other better purposes within the city. I'd rather be using $100,000 for all sorts of things here rather than paying it to have trash disposed of.
Thank you. Councilor Go, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, through you. I want to support this, this ordinance change completely. Did I mess that up?
No, you're fine with this.
But I'm not ready to do that right yet. Councilor O'Keefe brought up some legitimate concerns, but I believe that the change that Councilor McCarthy has proposed, where we strike that sentence from the ordinance, would address those concerns. But more importantly, the concerns brought up by some of the other councilors concerning landlords who are not owner-occupied landlords, I think we really need to discuss that a little more. We need to maybe put some protections in there for these people. I mean, they are property owners, they are taxpayers. Some of them may even work in the city, not just own property in the city. So I think we need to look at this a little more thoroughly. And while I want to support this ordinance eventually, I think maybe it belongs back in committee for a while.
Every councilor has spoken. Councilor Sosnowski, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also want to support this, but I can't at the moment because even with that 7-step tiered thing, I have one particular address. We all have various diverse neighborhoods. We have high ends, we have low ends, we have everything in between. All right, I have one particular street. Actually, it's March Street. If it weren't for a very good neighbor, he goes down and he picks up trash, never mind recycling, because the people that are living there, they're tenants, not landowners, they simply don't give a damn. All right? And this has not been going on for 1, 2, or 3 weeks or 7 weeks as the threshold would trip. I've been having this problem down in that particular neighborhood for years. 52 weeks a year, especially during the summer, when the snow doesn't hide the trash that blows around, because they simply don't care. All right? That being said, I don't want to fine that landlord after the requisite number of minimum violations go by. I have a problem with that, and Councilor Sargent also talked about something that I'd like to think about, and that would probably be recycling 103. Let's further advance these contracts we've just done. Let's get into the co-mingled stuff. Let's get the large container, the snap-on lids, and everything goes in. And I think that would be so much easier because it's heavy enough it wouldn't blow around. It has the cap if it's windy. The papers aren't going to go flying. The empty bottles aren't going to go flying. There's a lot more, and I do actually want to support this, but not the way it's currently written. Thank you.
Councilor McCarthy, please. Thank you very much, Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. President. There was no action on my motion, which is fine.
Would you care for
No,
action?
because I'm going to make another motion. I make a motion that this gets referred back to committee, and then we can take up this motion as well as some of these other ones in committee. Because at this point, there's a lot of valid points being made, and I think because as I stated previously, the whole idea of not picking up someone's trash because they didn't have a bin out was kind of I couldn't deal with that. That didn't make sense to me at all. But the word mandatory and the fact that a lot of these regulations came from the state, but I asked if that one sentence could be deleted, and the city solicitor said it could, which then would allow for trash to be picked up. Irregardless, if you decide it's too windy one day and you don't put your recycle bin out, or it's raining, or for whatever reason you don't put a recycle bin out 1 week, they're still going to pick up your trash. It's only after 7 weeks would they not pick up your trash, and then at that point, I don't want to fine anybody. And unfortunately, the rules are written the way they are because from the state, because they use the word mandatory, and I don't like that word. It's all about encouraging people to recycle more. That's all it's about. And the Salem Recycles Committee, it's a volunteer committee. Julie Rose in the engineering department, there are about a half a dozen ladies that volunteer, that have been spearheading this movement. And I just think to take this to the next step, for 1 year or how many ever years these funds become available, because I won't support. I mean, the idea is to save money, not to perpetuate the wheel going around that we get. We're saving money, then we can afford to keep the people in position. No, it's about initiating programs, initiating literature, whatever it is to get people more educated about recycling, and then get the wheel moving and let it go. And once the funds dry up, that's when they dry up, and we need to just. Hopefully, at that point, the programs are in place where that can continue. So my motion would be to refer it back to committee.
Second.
Second, a motion.
The motion by Councilor McCarthy has been made, seconded. Councilor Lane?
Yeah. This thing, the city solicitor was at the meeting, the committee was so long ago, I tried to get it back together. That was already removed.
Yes.
That section was already moved out. So what we were voting on was right here, which there is, the fact that they will not pick up the solid waste is already gone. It's already taken out. The only issue I had was with the, like the other councilor said, about the multifamily houses where the people don't live. Even in our thing, the resident's going to be notified. When would the person who owns the property be notified? They'd probably be getting the fine and wouldn't even know this is going on the way this is written now. It says all residents will be asked to have, oh, the owner, okay, a written warning, the owner of the property following a second offense, all right. So I mean, a lot of it's already been done. I don't know if we do it for first passage and send it back to the committee of the whole, or just send it back to the committee of the whole. I mean, whatever you want to do. But the changes that Councilor McCarthy and you were talking about, were they're not, they have to pick up your trash. That's already gone, it's wiped out.
Mr. Chairman.
The motion has been made and made by Councilor McCarthy, seconded to refer it back to committee. Under discussion, Councilor O'Keefe.
Through your question of Council President, does the word mandatory remain in it?
Yes.
It has to.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't.
Then,
Has
through you,
to.
Mr. President.
Yes, Councilor
Our
O'Keefe.
two attorneys here, a fair reading of Black's dictionary would say what is mandatory. Fair reading of Black's, what would it say? My colleagues don't. I took one course at graduate school and there's.
And you're gonna let us know every day, aren't you?
Blacks would have a different version probably of what their thoughts are on mandatory. I'll bring it to the next committee meeting on what mandatory is according to Black's legal dictionary, which is what courts go to when you're looking up terms. So let's look up Black's dictionary, what mandatory says.
And that would be wise to ask the city solicitor for advice in that
Okay,
position.
all right.
Putting any
Move the
city councilor
question.
in that position. Move the question. Any further discussion? Moving the question. All those in favor of moving this request to the committee of the whole? All those in favor? All those opposed? Unanimous. Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was told I have to refer everything to the city solicitor. Remember that first meeting?
Okay.
All right. Communications from city officials? None. Petitions?
Request from the Salem Lions Club to hold the Fidelco Dog Walk and use the city streets on June 9, 2013.
Kozlowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. I wholeheartedly support this. However, I do need to ask one question. On the front page here, about halfway down, page 1, both of these charities are fabulous charities. It's just I'd like to get a correction here because how much of the proceeds will be donated to each of the charities? Well, that totals 110%. So I'm trying to figure out which one is which. All right, so could we get a clarification here? All right, and other than that, I absolutely want this to pass this evening, but I would ask somebody contact Don Imel, who is a fabulous person, and just correct the numbers on that. All right, that's all.
I hope he's not an accountant.
Councilor, they're giving 110%.
Thank you, that's all. And other than that,
All right,
please
other than
pass
that,
it.
so all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have a request from the Boys and Girls Club to hold a road race in use of city streets on August 4th, 2013.
Council Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this matter be granted.
On discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have a request for B&S Fitness to hold a run, walk, and use of city streets on August 10th, 2013.
Council Terrio?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move this be granted.
Okay, any discussion?
Not really. This is a split off from the original Hawk Walk.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We request from the Salem Park and Recreation to hold a road race or Derby Mile and use of city streets on August 16th, 2013.
Council McCarthy?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this matter be granted.
Any discussion?
It's a wonderful event, if anyone has a chance to go see it or participate in it. It's a family-friendly event. They have a mile race from Ford Avenue up Derby Street, which ends up near Pickering Wharf, for runners who want to run, and then afterwards they have a family event. So if you want to push your son or daughter in a carriage, whatever, it's on a Friday afternoon. It's a great event. And it benefits the Park and Rec Department, so it's a wonderful event.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Doesn't want to stay together. Further petitions?
We have license application, C-Room and Tag Days.
Council Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have 4 public guides and 4 taxi operator license applications.
Council Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. Before, I'd like to ask a question. Is this time sensitive on this particular one? The reason why I ask that is because I've just recently received a serious complaint about one of the tour guides, and we haven't identified the tour yet, who has been violating basically the council's wishes, and the council is the one that issues public guide licenses, all right, after they get a test to certify that they know what they're talking about, but they're not supposed to have a negative influence or an impact late at night, especially in certain neighborhoods, and one of them has been doing that, and I don't know which one it is yet. I haven't identified it, and until I do, I'd like to probably separate these two. All right, so I'd move to separate the public guides from the taxi operators, and then I'd like to find out if we could identify who's who, and then bring it back and go from there.
All right, so you want to make a motion to separate the public guides from the taxi operators?
That would be my motion, to separate the public guides from the taxi
Seconded?
operators.
Second.
On that motion, all those in favor to separate it? Opposed? So moved.
And then I would move that the taxi operators be granted.
Okay. Council Sosnowski moves that the taxi operators be granted. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. And then with the public guides, we just leave them?
Well, Mr. President, the reality is, these may be innocent people, because we go through probably, 80, I think, in the order of 80 or 90 guides per year. All right, the person that's been abusive to the neighborhood may not even be on this list, but I don't know that right now. So I'm trying to identify this, and as soon as I identify it, I'll find out what's going on, and I'll come back with it.
Okay. Council Siegel?
Thank you, Mr. President. If we're going to hold them off, I say we bring them back as quick as possible, because I don't think it's fair to these people if these people aren't the one who is not, who Councilor Sosnowski is getting the complaints about. I have a hard time basically punishing these people for doing nothing. We are getting complaints, we just don't know who it is. It could be one of these people, it may not be. I just don't think it's right holding their application. I don't know if that's going to prevent them from working for another 2 weeks. I have some concerns with that. So if we are going to hold it in committee, I say we bring it back in 2 weeks at the latest. That's just my.
Fair enough.
Council McCarthy?
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, just looking down at the list, one of the public guides happens to be one of my constituents. I don't know if this individual is the person who is causing these problems, but I would hate for someone to be unable to work for 2 weeks because their guide license is being held up. I mean, obviously, if someone's in violation, I'm sure since we put all these mechanisms in place to approve them, if someone's being in violation, I'm sure we have a mechanism to pull them back. So at this point, I mean, I would even consider approving these, and if one of these people happens to be, they're gonna get yanked back into a committee meeting, pretty quick. Short of that, I would also agree with Council Siegel that if we are gonna do this, then I wanna guarantee that that someone figures out what's going on, and that these 4 individuals are approved at the next meeting, because I don't think it's fair to try to hold somebody up from the ability to work if they're not even the ones that we don't even know that the ones that need to be punished, so to speak.
Council Sosnowski?
I can't fault that logic, Mr. President. All right, and I certainly don't want to punish an innocent person. So I would withdraw my motion to separate the two. All right, and I would then move for approval or grant the public guides at this point. But I would also ask at some point. I don't want to say it over a public forum here, but I'm going to ask people to help me identify these people later, because I don't know who they are, and I would go from there. But yeah, at this point, I would withdraw my motion to separate, and I would move that those public guides be granted.
Okay, so Council Sosnowski withdraws the motion, and so on the approval of the public guides and the taxi operators, all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions.
We have a request from the Howard Taylor to hold a hearing on the denial of his taxi operator license.
Council Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs to hold an executive session.
Okay, any discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have one drain layer contract operator bond.
Council Sosnowski.
I move
License.
that this matter be granted.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have 3 claims.
Council Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Okay, any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have 1 constable and 1 drain layer bond.
Council Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Unfinished business?
We have second passage of an ordinance relative to boards, commissions, committees, and authorities by adding Article 4, Division 15, Community Preservation Committee.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption for second and final passage.
Any discussion?
No discussion?
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Councilor O'Keefe, before you
Move for adjournment.
move for adjournment, before you do, Councilor McCarthy.
Oh.
Matter of personal privilege?
Okay.
At this point, I'd like to recognize my colleague to my right, who happens to be his birthday today. The fact that seems to be all over Facebook all the time, and we know everything, if anybody who follows anybody on Facebook can know when his cat has a fur ball or something. It seems that it somehow was admitted the fact that today is his birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I know that the council president has a few people who actually share the same birthday.
It's a lot of people's birthdays. My middle son, Austin, birthday today. My brother-in-law's birthday. They share the same birthday with Council Toriel. 411. What's the information? And I was up Witchcraft earlier, and I was told to pass on. I saw Councilor O'Keefe's son. He told me when his father got out of order, I should bang the gavel, but Councilor Fury was up here, so I wasn't able to do it. So. Councilor O'Keefe.
Move for adjournment.
All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.